What if gravity suddenly disappeared? Gravity. The invisible hand that shapes the universe. It holds galaxies together, binds planets to stars, and keeps our feet firmly on the ground. Without it, there would be no Earth, no sun, no life. Yet because it is so constant, so reliable, we almost never think about it. But imagine, just for a moment, that gravity suddenly disappeared. What would happen to us, to our planet, to the very fabric of reality? Would we float into space instantly? Would Earth itself tear apart? Let's explore this impossible but fascinating scenario. A brief history of gravity. Humans have wondered about gravity for thousands of years. The ancient Greeks believed that objects naturally sought the center of the universe. Aristotle argued that heavy things fall faster than light ones. In the 16th century, Galileo Galilei challenged this belief, showing that objects fall at the same rate regardless of weight. Then came Isaac Newton in the 17th century, who revolutionized science with his law of universal gravitation. He described gravity as a force pulling every object in the universe toward every other object. Centuries later, Albert Einstein took it further with his theory of general relativity. According to Einstein, gravity is not a mysterious force but the curvature of space and time itself. Massive objects bend the fabric of the universe, and smaller ones move along those curves. Today, we know that without gravity, nothing we recognize could exist. Stars would not ignite, planets would not form, galaxies would not spiral. And yet, we rarely notice it. The first second without gravity. Now imagine, in one instant, gravity vanishes. You, your chair, the walls of your room, all would begin drifting. At first it might feel like floating in space, but far more chaotic. Cars would rise off highways, trains off rails, entire skyscrapers would lift from their foundations. But Earth itself is spinning. At the equator, the surface moves at 1,600 kilometers per hour. Normally, gravity holds everything to that spinning ball. Without it, objects no longer rotate with Earth, they fly off tangentially into straight paths. The ground would seem to explode upward beneath you as the planet kept spinning while you drifted away. Oceans in the sky. The oceans, vast and heavy, depend entirely on gravity. Without it, they would no longer cling to Earth's surface. Water would lift into the air, forming enormous drifting blobs. Imagine the Pacific Ocean rising like a mountain of liquid, breaking into floating spheres. Fish, coral reefs, and even submarines would be carried upward. Rain would fall in reverse. Rivers would climb toward the sky. Water vapor would escape into space, leaving Earth dry and barren. Within hours, the oceans would be gone, either floating as blobs in the upper atmosphere or streaming away into the void. The atmosphere escapes. Our air is just as dependent on gravity. The thin blanket of nitrogen and oxygen that we breathe would expand rapidly, spilling into space. Hurricane-like winds would tear across the land as the air tried to escape upward. Trees, rooftops, even entire cities would be ripped apart by the rushing atmosphere. Within minutes, the air pressure at the surface would drop, suffocating animals and humans. The blue sky would vanish. The stars would shine even at noon. Earth would quickly become a lifeless rock. Earth tears itself apart. Gravity doesn't just hold oceans and air. It holds Earth itself. Mountains, valleys, even the crust and mantle are bound together by Earth's pull. Without it, the planet would begin to disintegrate. The molten core would expand outward. The crust would shatter. Chunks of Earth would drift into space like shrapnel from a cosmic explosion. Within hours, our world would cease to exist as a single body. It would become an expanding cloud of debris, orbiting the sun for millions of years to come. The human body in zero gravity. Even if we could somehow survive the chaos around us, our own biology would fail. Gravity plays a role in every aspect of our physiology. Your heart pumps blood downward and upward, aided by gravity. Without it, blood would rush to your head, causing swelling, headaches, and blurred vision. Your bones and muscles, evolved for constant resistance, would weaken instantly. Astronauts experience some of these effects in space, but they still have microgravity. In a world with no gravity at all, circulation would break down completely. Organs would fail. Consciousness would fade in minutes. 1 minute without gravity. Let's extend the timeline. If gravity disappeared for just 1 minute, the atmosphere would already be thinning. Planes would fall out of the sky. Oceans would begin to lift off. Satellites would drift from orbit. Billions of tons of water and air would be gone forever. When gravity returned, what remained of the oceans would crash back to Earth as titanic floods. Buildings and objects suspended in midair would fall, annihilating anything below. The destruction would be total. 1 hour without gravity. If gravity vanished for an hour, Earth would not survive as a planet. The oceans and atmosphere would be gone. The crust would fracture. The moon would drift away. Earth's fragments would begin orbiting the sun separately. When gravity returned, there would be no planet to bind back together. Earth as we know it would be lost forever. Forever without gravity. Now imagine gravity gone forever. Not just Earth, but the entire universe would fall apart. Stars are held together by gravity, compressing hydrogen into the nuclear furnaces that create light and heat. Without it, stars would extinguish, including our sun. Galaxies, bound by gravity into majestic spirals, would scatter. Solar systems would fly apart. Planets, moons, asteroids, all would drift endlessly into the void. Without gravity, there would be no structure, no light, no life. The universe would dissolve into chaos. Lessons from the cosmos. Of course, gravity cannot simply vanish. It is not a switch that can be turned off. It is a fundamental property of matter itself. Mass and energy bend space-time, creating gravity. To remove it would require rewriting the laws of physics. Still, imagining its absence reveals just how essential it is. Gravity shapes our days and nights, our bodies, our world, and the cosmos itself. Astronauts in orbit give us a small glimpse of life with reduced gravity, muscle loss, brittle bones, changes in vision. These challenges show us how finely tuned we are to Earth's pull. Even slight reductions are dangerous. Total absence would be catastrophic. The human dream of escaping gravity. Ironically, humans have always dreamed of escaping gravity. We built rockets to break free of Earth's pull, aircraft to soar above it, and fantasies of floating weightlessly in space. Yet the very force we try to escape is also the one that makes escape possible. Without gravity, there would be no planets to launch from, no stars to guide us, no galaxies to explore. The philosophy of gravity. There is something poetic about this thought experiment. Gravity is the quiet companion of existence. We never see it. We cannot touch it. Yet it touches everything. Every moment of your life, gravity is with you, in the rhythm of your heartbeat, the pull of the tides, the arc of the stars. If it were gone, even for a breath, the universe itself would shatter. Perhaps gravity is not just a physical law. It is the foundation of being, the silent embrace that holds us all together. Final thoughts. So what if gravity suddenly disappeared? The oceans would rise into the sky. The atmosphere would vanish. Earth would shatter into fragments. The universe itself would unravel. Gravity is not a chain that binds us. It is the glue that gives us a home, a sky, a life. So the next time you drop a stone, watch the tides, or simply stand on the ground, remember, you are living inside the greatest miracle of all, the pull of gravity, the silent force that makes existence possible. Right finger subscribe to Why and How, and let's keep exploring the science of the impossible.